Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davo from Esports, bringing you another 1v1 StarCraft 2 cast today. Yay! This time on Cloud Kingdom, and this time it is the second in our series between
TSLRevival down here in the bottom left position, and he is against ByunPrime in the top right position. And last game we saw a fairly aggressive 2-racks opening from Byun, but was deflected well, I'd say, by Revival. And we'll see if I have to see this again on this map. Of course, got the easy to take natural here. You can wall off here, go for that. Oh, but he's walling in at the top, so could be a one-base play here.
Those of you who don't know who that was, that was let's say the co-caster, as I am his co-caster today.
A very equality-based casting team we have here. We're each other's co-caster. There's no one ahead here.
Who exactly are you?
I am Phonics. I am also with Esports. I will be casting commentary games with Davo and my own solo casts as well.
All on the YouTube channel. Awesome. And as I've been saying for about 6 casts, 7 casts previously, I do have some rather large announcements coming for Archon Esports. But I just need to finalise some stuff and, you know, make it all cement before I actually say anything. But, so yeah, about the last game. Or actually, no, screw the last game. Let's look at Xel'Naga positionings for now, hey? Awesome. So, Xel'Naga positionings on this map, how do you think they kind of influence the gameplay?
Well, they're on the low ground, which is how people seem to like now Xel'Nagas on the newish maps. The ones we're seeing now coming out of the GSL and such, but these ones are extremely important because they cover that. There's that big ridge down the middle, kind of that no man's land. If one person has one and one has the other, it creates that no man's land, splits that map completely down the middle there.
Yeah. Also, this map has a flying shark.
Space shark.
Yeah, space shark, and that's pretty groovy. He does hover occasionally and just do nothing when the fog.
As you will know, if space shark comes with you on your attacks, you will always win.
Oh.
That is the rule.
Excellent. So does that mean if you push into the middle, you'll win, or?
Well, as long as he's flying the correct way.
Okay, so we do have TSLRevival taking another hatchery at the moment. Awesome. And actually, what I would call a very early expand from ByunPrime as well, not opting for the 2-racks pressure and harassment that he was doing previously.
He's going for that 1 barracks expand. You throw down the gas just afterwards, get your tech back up again to where it should be. Very good, very standard economic opening here. Probably wants to go a bit more standard after he lost that last game. You can maybe afford it to throw a slight bit of cheese the first way in a best of 3, but you want to play straight up if you are down that 0-1.
I think it... Ooh, what just exploded there? Was
Supply
that a
depot.
Supply depot? Excellent.
Doesn't like the neutral ones.
I guess it, you know, keeps your opponent on your toes if you throw a little bit of cheese. I mean, the first game of a series, you know, you do some cheese, that might keep your opponent on their toes a little bit. It
did make Revival go for a slightly different build. He went for a gas opening instead of the before the pull. Get the speed up a bit quicker. But he didn't seem to be too scared of a 2-racks this time, possibly knowing that he wouldn't quite go for it again. And plus this map, if anything, has even got a longer distance to run.
I mean, he does have an Overlord here as well, seeing what is going on. Nice thing about Cloud Kingdom, as you said previously, sorry, I was going for a burp, is the really, really nice kind of entrance. Yeah, that's actually quite thin. It only takes like 3 big buildings to block it in. So that's quite nice, really.
Doesn't see the expansion here at all for Byun, so he actually doesn't know exactly what's going on. But we've got the bunker coming up here from Byun.
Nice and safe.
Nice and safe.
Yeah.
Starting to get saturated here, but he is producing roaches. 5 roaches, possibly to hold off any of that Reactor Hellion stuff we do see coming down now. Reactor Hellion, there we are. The most standard of standard builds Terran can open with these days.
Indeed. But yeah, it does look like he is going to be going and harassing again with that Hellion.
But what with all those roaches out, he's now got about 10 roaches out, which is a lot to deal with those 2 Hellions, but he might be going for some minor aggression here. He
could actually be going for some sort of push at the moment because these roaches are steaming it across the map underneath Space Shark. More roaches actually in tow as well, and some Zerglings causing some damage. And of course TSLRevival does actually now know that his opponent has expanded pretty early. These Hellions, unfortunately, aren't going to do very much against those roaches.
They're going to be a big shock, those roaches, I think. That amount, anyway. And he's doing the Cloak Banshee follow-up. This is a very popular follow-up that's been popularised a lot in Korea recently. That delayed Banshee tech. The Zerg opponent says, oh, you're going for that fast command centre, probably going into barracks and factories, and then they might not tech up to that layer quite so quickly. But a big push in from Revival, taking down that bunker. Yes, bunker is down.
Unfortunately, this SCV does not get paid enough to keep the bunker at full health for that long. These Hellions are just going to have to make do against these roaches, even though they're not the best unit against roaches. They're just going to have to make do. But here we do have a pretty good unit against roaches, which is a Banshee, seeing as the roaches cannot actually touch the Banshee in any way. But one thing that is going to be really damaging is if that ramp stayed down, but luckily the ramp stayed up.
The Hellions surrounded, that's not so good for Byun. And he has had to reveal that Banshee in order to kill all that off, so it's not going to be as such a shock. And the Evo chamber coming down now from Revival, so...
The question is now, though, I mean, I'm guessing that Revival saw this, was researching something, which is actually the Banshee stealth.
So you can do the fake out with the Caduceus reactor on the Medivacs, but he's putting down 3 Spore Crawlers, so he's definitely worried about that cloak. First Banshee comes in, 1 kill, 2 kills, probably get a 3rd, maybe a 4th before he disappears off.
I mean, as Revival knew that this was coming, he obviously put down some Spore Crawlers pretty quickly, just as a matter of point. We do some Zerglings legging it across the map. They're probably going to go and see if ByunPrime is building another expansion, which of course he is, which again I would call a pretty quick expansion.
That is a pretty fast 3rd command centre, but this map you can get away with it. I've seen Protoss go for the Forge Fast Expander, then throw a very fast Nexus down here, cannon it up, and you can do the same if you're going this style as Byun is. You can control it with all that map control you have as Hellions, although to be honest, he's not got his Hellions out on the map too much.
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
The defensive Hellions. I thought that maybe he'd be harassing with them, you know?
That's certainly poking in the front and keeping Revival in his base, but that Banshee almost going down there. And the lair just finishing up for Revival now.
Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 gas. So do you think maybe we're going to see Mutalisks?
Maybe Mutas.
Yeah.
It could be a good idea with this the build that Prime's going to be on Prime, because he's gone so tech heavy into the Hellions and Banshee. He's not going to have too many Marines up. So it could be a good idea to go for the It looks like it is just going to be the roach speed as of last game.
Yeah. I mean, he won the last game, so... You know,
he can feel free to go the units there.
Yeah.
Oh, and drop coming up now for Revival. That is exciting. Not enough people use drop. Very, very underrated.
The question is, what's he going to be dropping? Banelings, perhaps? That would be...
Hope Banelings.
That would be the best result, I feel.
But with all those roaches he's producing, it does look like it's going to be a roach drop.
You have to wonder why people don't use the Nidus Worm in place of drops anymore. I mean, why would you say that? I mean, Nidus Worms are expensive.
Yeah, it's putting those Nidus down, and I mean, they can be extremely effective if you're going to be pushing with Hydras. I mean, obviously, probably not against Terran, but it's more against Protoss. You can move those Hydras straight up to the front, and all those multi-prong aggression attacks are very good with the Nidus. But the drop is, you have the Overlords anyway, and...
That was an Overseer eating shit at the hands of this Viking.
Supply blocking Revival at the moment, which isn't that good, but he's 6 on the way.
Yeah, we have a really nice blocking actually. This is something like you would see out of the campaign. Let's do a bit of a rotate. Oh! Yeah, nice. So, as I say, it's quite a campaign-tastic block in there. Makes it look like, you know, a level from the campaign, as I've said like 6 times. Anyway, what's happening in this game? We have...
Revival is still on 2 bases. He has not pushed off those 2 bases. This could be it looks like it's going to be a massive 2-base all-in off Revival here. A huge roach drop. He's just produced 18 roaches. Plus one's finishing up now. He's producing 10 more roaches.
Yeah, and
that's a lot of roaches.
These roaches do actually look like they're going to begin loading up into these Overlords right now as well. And yep, this is going to turn into a pretty terrifying looking push. Well, drop even.
Although he is ahead in supply, but he's only... Oh, no, he is a lot ahead in supply now. But roaches, they take up 2, they're cheap. I think Byun has a bigger army at the moment.
I mean, where do you think this drop's going to go? The main?
It would have to go into the main.
Yeah.
I think he should push into the main, drop those off. I think he should reinforce with Lings and try and take that third at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the main is such a high-profile target at the moment because, of course, it's a mining base as well. You know, in late game, the main is no longer a mining base. You've just got your production structures in there. Yeah, it's not... Is it really such a... You know...
I think the main reason for dropping the main is he's got all his units at the third at the moment because he would be worried about... Because I don't think he knows that Revival has not taken a third base. So he's got to be worried about something, but I don't think he exactly knows what is coming. All his units are still at his third and his natural. And there's nothing in the main at all. And if he drops in the main, it's going to take ages before he can get any of his units back into his main.
Quite a lot of these production structures are going to die.
He should target... If he can't target SEVs, it should be upgrades and it should be the add-ons on those barracks.
Let's just see if... ByunPrime maybe saw that Overlord heading there, but I don't...
He sees it.
I don't think he's twigged that it's actually here yet.
Roach has been dropped off, picking up tons of SL. Marine's already in the base, and he's doing a lot of damage here. Tanks trying to move up from the natural, but they are slow, and the SimCity in this base is not too amazing. But Sply Depot's forming a nice wall.
Oh, not anymore, they're not.
Byun feels like he might have the edge in this battle of pushing him back, but there's still a lot for those medevacs, and the tanks are now shelling those roaches.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's the 2 base all in over.
Yeah, so GG from Revival, perhaps realising that he's not actually going to be able to win with that all in, and therefore not even bothering. I mean, from here, ByunPrime could probably push him and win.
He's got the 3rd base up. I mean, that was it for Revival. That's all he could have pushed into, and
well, pretty interesting game.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Alright guys, well, thanks a lot for watching and stuff, and we will see you in about 3 seconds for part 3. In a bit.